in there and gets absolutely plastered, iced out by Usyk. So it just shows, you know, and there's all the big fights, Tyson Fury and AJ. AJ got ironed out by Dubois properly, and Usyk just ironed out Dubois.
Daniel, I just worry about him going forward, because fighters who study him and watch him know, I get you past 3 or 4 rounds and keep putting dents in you, it's only a matter of time. Now, don't get me wrong, Usyk's shown that and Jojo's shown that.
Usyk has not improved since he beat Daniel Dubois. But then, who did Alexander Usyk beat after beating Daniel Dubois? Tyson Fury. He beat Tyson Fury twice. He did it the first time, and then the second time, he did it even much better.
Specialists say Alexander Usyk didn't just defeat fighters, he damaged their confidence. Tony Bello admits he fears for Daniel Dubois' boxing future, thinking Usyk revealed serious mental weaknesses. Bello explains that Dubois performs well.
Talk us through Usyk's performance.
It was basically as I predicted. I said Alexander Usyk would figure Daniel Dubois out and he'd stop me. Just done it a little bit quicker than I thought. I said anywhere between 8 and 10, and he does it in, I think it was the 5th or the 6th.
Yeah, that's it.
The 5th round. So basically, he comes out, he starts, he just does a good look in the first round, but he already implements the jab straight away. Alexander, and he hits Daniel Dubois with a really hard jab. And like I said before, Daniel Dubois is a confidence fighter. When he gets confidence and he starts pressing forward, the confidence builds and his momentum builds. He stifled it in that first round with a hard, heavy jab. And from the outside looking in, it just looked like it was only a matter of time till Daniel Dubois was going to go, I've had enough.
Yeah, you think?
He was landing heavy shot after heavy shot. Even when he landed to the body, Usyk was like, touched his body and then just was like, what are you going to do? Nothing's working for you. And it just took away all the confidence from Daniel Dubois.
You could see it drain out of him, really, couldn't you? Very quickly.
It was sad, really, because I just worry about Daniel, because I think to myself, as fighters, the thing that you need most is heart, and he's displayed that on a couple of occasions against your Jarrell Millers and your Filip Hrgovićs. But then he's also displayed that he doesn't have the heart for the fight at certain times in fights, and I think
Frank Warren has openly said Usyk is one of the best fighters of this generation. He compares Usyk to legends like Muhammad Ali and Lennox Lewis, saying his achievements are just as important. Warren highlights that Usyk's discipline and skill have raised him to a level that earns respect even from those who usually only praise their own fighters. He also suggests that Tyson Fury's possible comeback isn't by chance, but inspired by Usyk's greatness in the ring. Warren believes Fury wants to fight Usyk.
He took over the fight. He's got a great mental, you know, he's so strong mentally, Usyk. You know, you think about it, every fight he's had has been on the road because of obviously the war in Ukraine, going into other people's backyards and coming away with a prize each time. It takes a bit of a mindset to do that, as well as the skills that he has. But he done a fantastic job and took the fight over and eventually stopped Daniel.
How do you think he compares to the other greats of the sport then, the likes of Muhammad Ali, Lennox Lewis, George Foreman, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield?
He's up there with them all. He's up there. You know, he's in the top 10, and you left out Larry Holmes, who was a great fighter. You know, they would have been, you know, of each generation. It's all, you know, we always do it, all of us in boxing. I wonder how this one would have got, you know, how would Muhammad Ali have got on with Usyk and all these sort of, you know, permutations. But you can only be the best as you can in your generation, and he at the moment is the guy, and he's done it. He's done it at 3 levels. He won the gold medal in Olympic Games. He unified all of the cruiserweight titles, the 4 belts. And he's done the same in the heavyweight division. And at 38 years of age, he's undefeated. So he's one of the greats.
Tyson Fury insists that he's the only man who can beat Usyk. Will he step out of retirement for a trilogy?
We'll see, but he likes that fight. He wants that fight. And they were close fights, by the way. You know, very, very close fights, both of those fights that Tyson had with him. So who knows? Anything can happen in this business, and maybe that's a fight that could be made if indeed Usyk wants to do it and Tyson wants to do it. I have no problem with it. In fact, it was mentioned during an interview over the PA address at Wembley on Saturday, and everybody gave it a loud cheer. So, I'm sure there'd be an appetite for it.
Tyson Fury keeps talking confidently about winning back the championship belts from Usyk. But their last two fights show a different story. Each loss has weakened his power, and people now see changes in his energy and attitude after losing. Since his latest loss to Usyk, Fury hasn't entered the ring. This quietness is strange for someone known for being loud and always in the media. Many fans and experts think his push for a third fight isn't just for revenge, but for redemption. It's his way to heal himself mentally, emotionally, and in boxing history.
Usyk, middleweight. You say you want the WBC, and it's held by gypsies. It is held by gypsies. It's held by the Gypsy King, and it's held tightly, grasped tight, and all road leads to a 7-foot behemoth that will absolutely destroy you, middleweight. Middleweight, you will get smashed to bits. You say you wanted to fight me after you beat the bodybuilder. Called me out on television. And now you're being a little bitch pussy boy. Running, hiding, saying you've got injuries. You ain't got no injuries. You had a sparring contest. Get out and fight in December. You let your mouth go. Now let's back it up. See if you can back it up, middleweight. Doesn't matter if it's December or April or August next year. The outcome will be the same. I will obliterate you. I'm a 7-foot, 20-stone behemoth, and I will destroy you, middleweight. Find your balls. Come see me. Bitch.
Usyk remains very motivated, not just to keep his titles, but to prove he is the best against top heavyweight fighters. After defeating Daniel Dubois, Usyk quickly said he was ready to fight both Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua again. His readiness to face either shows he is a fighter who never backs down from tough challenges. Instead of resting after big wins, Usyk keeps pushing himself to face harder opponents. His drive for greatness isn't just talk. It shows clearly in how
He's a fighting man. We're fighting men, after all, right? He's a fighting man, and that's going to eat away at his soul. Fact that he lost his last ever fight to Alexander Usyk. So my bet, my money, would go on a rematch happening in Saudi Arabia once again, not in October, sometime around March next year. You got to decompress. You got to forget all about fighting. Enjoy your family.
Spend some family time, walk me dog, go to the tip. Me and Frank will talk what's going to happen in the future.
Get over the loss mentally, because it will take a while to process. Now, granted, it was a split decision. One judge thought that he won. So there's a moral victory there. So to the press and to the public, you can talk and say, one judge thought I won. So therefore, in my mind, we're good. But when he goes home and you rest your head on that pillow at night, you know, the world knows that Alexander Usyk was the winner of that fight. And that is why fighters, when they have the money, they have the respect, they've got the career already in the bag, is why they continue to fight.
After Daniel Dubois lost to Usyk, Tyson Fury surprised many by offering his help. Knowing the fight affected Daniel mentally, Fury offered to mentor and train him. This shows Fury understands how hard it is to face Usyk, even for young, talented boxers. With his own ring experience and history with Usyk, Fury can be a great guide. His offer to help Daniel shows leadership and care for the next generation of British fighters. This support could help Daniel recover and also...
Right, guys, quick one. I keep getting asked about this Dubois situation and all this quitting stuff and whatever else. Here's the facts. The facts are, young Daniel did his best against one of the greatest champions that's ever been, and it wasn't good enough. He come up short. He got put down twice. What do you want him to do? Die in the ring? There's no first place for getting battered. The lad did his best. He wasn't going to win the fight. He's better off getting out of there. There's a lot of jealousy in boxing, especially when an individual's making a lot of money. A lot of jealous fighters slagging someone off who did his best and had the guts to get in there. There is no cowards in boxing. When you're in that ring fighting world heavyweight champions, there is no cowards. So all the credit deserves to Daniel. He worked his socks off from being 8-year-old, won the world title, and fought Usyk for the undisputed. Video went off and fought Usyk for the undisputed, and now he's sitting at home, multi-millionaire at 27. Do what he wants. Daniel, if you ever get to see this, chin up, son. Your dad's proud of you, everybody's proud of you. You've come from a kid to a man to be the world heavyweight champion and box at Wembley and in front of 100,000 people. You can't beat that kid. And if you ever want to do any training with a real straight man, come yourself to Morecambe anytime you want, kid. Because there's no jealousy here, and there's no people putting others down who do the best. I call them dream crushers and jealous. Exactly, that's what yous are. I love the dirty, jealous. Get up, Daniel Dubois. Get up, son.
Tyson Fury has said clearly he doesn't see any point in fighting Anthony Joshua a third time. He points out that Daniel Dubois fought Joshua well, but Usyk easily beat Dubois. To Fury, this shows Joshua is no longer a real threat to Usyk. He believes he's the only fighter who can truly challenge Usyk. Because of this, Fury has openly said he wants a third fight with Usyk, this time at the famous Wembley Stadium. For Fury, it's not just about getting the belts back, but also
situation. You know, you got AJ boxed Daniel Dubois recently and got ironed out, knocked down 5 times, flattened. And then Dubois was on a great run, three big knockouts in a row, including Joshua and Kovic and Miller. And he goes in there and gets absolutely plastered, iced out by Usyk. So it just shows, you know, and there's all the big fights, Tyson Fury and AJ. AJ got ironed out by Dubois properly, and Usyk just ironed out Dubois. So it's quite pointless. The only man who's been able to beat this fucker is myself, and been ripped off. So I'm not sure what's going on, but you know what it is. GK all day, every day. Fucking still the top dog, still the top G. Beat him twice and I'll do it again. Wembley, here we come. 3 times. Good up.
there has been much talk in boxing about a possible fight between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury as a warm-up match. Since Fury hasn't fought since losing to Usyk in May 2024, this fight could be a smart way for him to come back. For Joshua, it's a big chance to prove himself again on a big stage. The excitement grows with every rumor and hint. If it happens, this fight would be a major event and show which of the two still has the edge in today's heavyweight boxing.
Then, well, here it is. Here's your world title shot. You're going to fight for a world title, right? But if you're Joseph Parker, and I spoke to Andy Lee, it isn't just a case of fighting for a world title. You want to fight the #1 for the world title, and that guy is Alexander Usyk. So, yeah, there must be loads of conversations going on right now. Loads of conversations. I did say this the other day, and I don't know, sometimes I'm like, you know, when I was in the ring and I was interviewing Alexander Usyk, I was desperate because of my love for Joseph Parker. I was desperate for Joseph Parker to get, I know he got in the ring after, but I'm talking about on the zone. So whilst everyone is still in the stadium and everyone's still tuned in, I was desperate for him to kind of just jump in the ring. I was desperate for him to do it. Chisora was trying to do it. So Chisora knows how to play the game. And as much as people are like, what's Chisora doing? Chisora's, well, look, Chisora won't get the fight, but that's kind of what you got to do. And I know people are like, well, 1 second, it's not like that. It's ranking. Well, no, it's not though, is it? Because, again, Alexander Usyk can vacate the belt. He can say no. You have to kind of do what Daniel Dubois did last time. Daniel Dubois, rightly or wrongly, got in the ring, pissed Usyk off. Usyk's like, okay, we'll if fuck it. If that's what this is what you're doing, dude, we'll fight. And I felt like there was a time where I wanted Joseph Parker to almost nudge me. And I'm telling you now, you know, we're kind of told not to give the mic. I don't know if you see, I always hold on to the mic. I would have given Joseph Parker the mic. And I would like Joseph Parker, because there's a mean side to Joseph Parker. I think everyone sees the friendly side. I've seen the mean side. And I wanted Joseph Parker to say, I want my shot. You've been ducking me. All these things might not be true, but do it. Sell it. The crowd would have gone a bit wild, right? Because I think a lot of the crowd want Joseph Parker to get his shot. But that's not what happened. And all of a sudden, you're seeing Jake Paul in the ring doing a face-off. You're seeing all these, and I'm like, where's Joseph Parker? Where are you, Joseph?
Anthony Joshua has honestly admitted the skill gap he saw when fighting Usyk. His honesty about Usyk's superiority shows how much those fights affected him. Joshua knows Usyk's tactics, footwork, and calmness under pressure were too good to beat then. This truth adds respect to Usyk, especially since it comes from a former champion. It shows even top fighters can see when they face rare talent. Still, despite beating some of Britain's best heavyweights, including several wins over Joshua and Chisora, Usyk's success is often ignored by the British media. This raises questions about national bias and selective storytelling. His skill and steady wins haven't received the full praise.
Alexander Usyk has dominated British heavyweight boxing. Every single British fighter we've put in front of Usyk, he's beaten. Usyk has beaten the likes of Derek Chisora, Anthony Joshua twice, Daniel Dubois, and Tyson Fury twice. But I've noticed something. Every time that Usyk is fighting a British fighter, a section of the British media finds a way to discredit Alexander Usyk. Here is a prime example of what I am talking about.
Yeah, so I know Daniel Dubois. I see him work from day to day. I know what they're working on tactically. Go back to 2023 when Dubois lost to Alexander Usyk, and you say, all right, yeah, look, they seem quite far apart there. He had his moments, Daniel, but Usyk was sort of leagues above him then. Alexander Usyk has not got better since then. There's a lot of miles on the clock since then. There's no sign of deterioration. But what I'm saying is Daniel Dubois is a different character, a different animal from then.
You're saying that Usyk has not got better since fighting Daniel Dubois?
Yeah,
even though he's dealt with Fury?
Yeah, absolutely.
According to Spencer Oliver, Usyk has not gotten any better. Usyk has not improved since beating Daniel Dubois. Now that is some of the most inaccurate nonsense I have ever heard on live radio.
Boxing experts have noticed clear bias in how the British media talks about Usyk's career. Even well-known people like Simon Jordan have been criticized for downplaying his successes. It seems the media struggles to praise a fighter who has repeatedly beaten their own champions. Usyk hasn't just won against British fighters. He's done it clearly and more than once. Still, the recognition has been slow and unsure. With his recent undisputed titles and strong wins, Usyk has...
The boxing, Simon Jordan has no clue what he's talking about most of the time. Simon Jordan picked Daniel Dubois to beat Alexander Usyk because he said Alexander Usyk is going to be off by 5 to 6 or 8%. You see, my issue isn't that these guys have an opinion and they want to make prediction and they want to choose a British fighter. That is not a problem at all, because I am all for people supporting their people, and that's great. But when you're a pundit and you're being paid to analyze a fight and give the casual fans an understanding of what is going on in boxing and within fight, you have to be objective. You have to give each fighter their fair due. You have to talk about each fighter equally. You have to lay out each fighter's strengths and weaknesses, and you have to lay out each fighter's chances of winning. And that does not mean that you discredit the other fighter and lift up another fighter. And that is what I believe Simon Jordan and these guys do, where they will take some credit off of Usyk just so they can make Daniel Dubois look like he has improved so much and he's mentally different, when in fact Daniel Dubois was no different mentally to when he fought Usyk the first time to now when he just fought Usyk and got absolutely demolished. And then you have Spencer Oliver, who in that video said that Alexander Usyk has not improved since he beat Daniel Dubois. But then who did Alexander Usyk beat after beating Daniel Dubois? Tyson Fury. He beat Tyson Fury twice. He did it the first time, and then the second time he did it even much better.
Many experts now believe Tyson Fury's talks about retirement were more a strategy than a true decision. His behavior suggests he planned to return, especially to settle the score with Usyk. Even after clearly losing both fights, Tyson stays, confident and strong, pushing for a third match. This shows he doesn't want to end his career with a loss. He sees one last fight with Usyk as a chance to change the story and finish on his own terms.
But I feel like the way he's talking and then that little thing, you can just tell he's pissed about this. He's raging that he got beat. And it's not raging that he got robbed. It's raging that he got beat. And that the whole world knows he didn't just get beat. He got beat back to back, decisively, clearly, unequivocally, undisputably, undeniably beaten back to back. That's what happened.
I train twice a day. I go out, I can have a beer when I want. I go eat what I want. I stay out late. I can do what the fuck I want. You know why? Because I've earned the right to.
No one's stopping you. But we don't mind. We literally don't care. Stay out as long as you want, mate. It's the aggression that's coming out of him when he's saying this. That's what you can tell. That he's all wound up, and maybe he's turning it up for the cameras, to be fair to him. I don't want to be overly critical, but I feel just thinking about that defeat immediately, even when he's talking about things like having a beer, he says it like, I can do what I want. All right, then. It's not a problem, mate. I crack on.